Flosstube, I'm Kat, and this is Kat is Crafting both on YouTube and on Instagram, and this is Flosstube number 6. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've somehow stumbled across this and are completely new to Flosstube, this is a channel mostly about cross-stitch, but I also throw in some knitting and crochet, and then I also sometimes talk about books and games that I might be playing or reading. Thank you to everyone who commented and liked my last and past videos. It's always great hearing from you and seeing that people are interested in the projects I'm sharing and how I'm sharing them. With that being said, hopefully you enjoy what I have to share with you today, and if you do, please give me a like. It really helps me to know that you're enjoying the content, and helps me plan for next time and so on. And also, if you are enjoying it, please consider subscribing. I am trying to get videos out every 3 to 4 weeks. Bit delayed on this one. Won't go into too details, but I'll give a little bit of background over that. But I am trying to do every 3 to 4 weeks with updates on my projects and whatnot. So with that, a couple things I am going to try and do this time. First of all, I've actually made notes, so that's why I keep looking down, but hopefully a bit smoother, both for viewing, but also for me for editing, so I'm not scatterbrained. I can be scatterbrained. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts. And also I'm going to try adding in chapters. So bear with me. If it works for this one, I'll go back into my my old videos, because I mean, I don't have tons of them, so it's might be nice to just have all of them set up is what I was thinking, but I'm going to try to do chapters this time. So hopefully it worked, and hopefully you're seeing those. So yeah, so it's Monday, June the 9th in the afternoon. I'm just finishing work, and I thought it'd be a good idea to get this thrown up. I'm not going to lie, I wanted to do this. I've been struggling to find a good time to do this, but also I've been struggling with not wanting to do it. And what I mean by that is I've really been wanting to craft, and I've just been really torn between crafting and filming this, something I do want to do, but it just wasn't feeling right the past couple weeks. So now I'm finally here, and I'm now that I'm in front of a camera and actually filming, I'm definitely getting more into it. So thank you. I do enjoy this, and I do enjoy sharing my project with you. So this is a great outlet, and it's actually, I feel like, helping boost my mood. I've been having in a weird mood for the past couple days. It's been about 7 weeks since my last filmed. And that just has to do with, work has been crazy on my end, as well as we're getting into like the spring, summer, and so there's just been a lot going on around my house to bring it up to where it needs to be for going into the summer. And then on top of that, trying to balance that with, reading and doing crafting and things like that. I didn't feel like I had enough to share within that 3 to 4 weeks, mostly because I was monogamously stitching on one project to catch up. So if I had filmed within that 3 to 4 weeks, I would have just shared one project, and maybe you're into that. Let me know if that's the type of updates you want. I wanted to have a little bit more content to give to you, just because there is a lot of effort going into kind of setting up the tripod and stuff. So I just kind of gave myself a little bit of a break and extension. But with that being said, I also kind of stitched on only 4 projects. So this might be a fairly short Flosstube compared to my previous ones. Now, with all that said and all that rambling, hopefully I've still caught your interest. But let's get into it. So as I said, it's about 6-7 weeks since my last Flosstube. In those 7 weeks, I stitched a total of 38 days. And I stitched a total of 10,543 stitches on over 4 projects. I don't have any finishes. I don't have any starts. I was really hoping I'd get to framing my finishes from last time. Didn't get around to that. Do have a couple frames in mind, so I'm really hoping to get those done and as fully finished objects to show you. But yeah, so basically I just have 4 whips, and we can get into those right now. So the main one that's been taking up all my time is the Extraordinary Birds SAL. SAL by Lolacrow Crosstitch. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Lugana called Gray Matters by Hand Dyed by Rolanda. She is a Canadian dyer found through Etsy. I'm doing this with all the called for DMC. Lola, it's a, as I said, it's a SAL. If you're not familiar with it, it seems like it's everywhere. So, but it's being released in parts. So the frame was the first release, and that's what I was going crazy with trying to catch up. And then it's been out for about 4 weeks. So there's been 4 releases. Next week is a break week. So I actually will not be stitching on this after this. I am all caught up. I have put in since my last update where I was partially on frame. So here's where I was last week. I've put in 8,399 stitches, and I'm all caught up. So this is where it is now. Peeking around to see what you can see. There you go. So it's absolutely gorgeous. Really love it. The last part was this number 4 was this dude right here. Very cute. But these are just lovely colors. And I've done one of her stitch-alongs before. It was the Greenhouse of Oddities and is up on my wall. So this is just going to be a lovely companion piece for it. Lots of fun doing it. This week's only took me about 2 days to complete. I've been trying to, now that I'm caught up, been trying to do them. They come out on Fridays. Stitch them Friday night and Saturday night, or Saturday, if I can, and get it finished that weekend. So that way I've got the rest of the week just to do my other stitchy stuff. But yeah, the frame was a big it took me a little bit longer to do that. But yeah, that's lovely. I'm really excited for the next release. But I am also grateful for having a week reprieve. I am away next week, so or for a portion of next week, so it actually works out really well because I wouldn't be bringing the project with me. It's just too many threads and stuff for flying. But it's really nice. Really enjoying it. That's on. As I said, it was a 32 count. I'm doing 2/2 on that fabric. My next one that I worked on was the Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. I had goals for this to finish parts each month to try and get it done for this year. I'm way behind, but that's okay. It's a hobby, right? So I'm not going to be that stuck to goals. So yeah, this is by Modern Folk Embroidery. Here's where I was last time. I'm stitching this on a 40 count linen in the color Night Sky by Fiber on a Whim, and I'm using Mrs. Cetus flosses in the colors Copper and Lust. I've put in 809 stitches since my last Flosstube, which brings it to 16% complete. And here's where I am with it. Let me see if I can fold that in, make that look better. I've been struggling to get this to show up properly. Yes, the darker, which is the Copper, the variegated floss is the Lust, the orangey variegated, and then the darker one is called Copper. It's not as much of a contrast as I had hoped for, but it does look really good, and it is noticeable in person. I don't know how it's showing up on camera. I know photographing it is really difficult, especially with the dark fabric, but it's subtle enough that I think it's looking good, and it'll look really good framed. Maybe have like a nice white mat or something to help it pop. But really happy with it's going. It is. I feel like it's stitching up fast when I do actually work on it, but I need to pull it out more. So yeah, so there's that one. The next one I have is another Modern Folk oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys. Another Modern Folk Embroidery. And this one is Move Forward in Love. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count even weave that I've hand dyed myself. I'm doing it with the called for DMC, and I'm doing it with 1/1. Here's where I was last time with it. And I've put in, since last time, 708 stitches, which has brought it up to 37% complete. I am a bit behind on my goals, but because it is Pride Month here, I think I'm supposed to be just passing the 50% mark. So I'm gonna make this my June piece and really, really hone in and try and get up to 50%. I've been working on this section since last time, so I didn't point that out on my other ones. So I've just been slowly working this in, and I think to get to 50% shouldn't be too hard. I just need to, again, take a break and really hunker down and do this. But yeah, really loving how it's turned out. The fabric, it looks great on it. All the stitches are turning out lovely. It's super tiny, but yeah, it should be a nice one to finish. So apologize, I feel like I'm going through this really fast, so bear with me. And my last whip that I have to share is the nostalgic tarot card, The Fool, by the Witchy Stitcher. I'm stitching this on a 32 count fabric, even weave. Of course it's a fabric. 32 count even weave, 1/1 with the called for DMC. It's hand dyed. Sorry, both of these hand dyed by myself. Here's where I was last time with it. And since last time I've put in 717 stitches, bringing it up to 84% complete. So let me just fold this and remove some random threads that shouldn't be there. And see if I can hold this up in any way. There you go. Okay, and this is where I am now. That work? Yeah, that works nicely. So I've just been filling in more of his body and working along the bottom here, and I think I also put in some more of these decals here. This one, I love it. It's just a little difficult because of the fabric and the hand dyeing. It's just a bit difficult when I've been doing it, but again, it's just picked a lot of dark fabrics, which is a mistake. I need to take some, it's nice switching between the 1/1 and the 2/1. So since I'm taking a break from the Lolacrow this week, I'll have to find another 2/2 to just kind of give my eyes a bit of a break. But really liking how this is going. It's I've seen some of them and some of the projects are huge. I was trying to keep this a manageable size, and by manageable I mean just so my limited wall space. So from that, I've dyed this piece of fabric, and so everything should fit on this guy, which I know seems like a big piece of fabric, but if you look up, if you're not familiar with this project and you look it up, some people have done, first of all, way more than I have. These cards are being released every other month, and I've got one done. I think there's only 4 left of the whole set, so I've got a lot of catching up to do, but yeah, they're actually absolutely gorgeous projects out there, and but they're also, some of them are giant. I think Crosstitch in Cambria is doing it, and there's a picture of him from a Crosstitch event. And I mean, I'm 5'2". I'm a small girl, so everything looks big beside me. He looks like he could be, I want to say 5'11", maybe 6 feet. Not sure. Him standing beside everyone, he looked tall, and this was what he was stitching could have been a nice size blanket for him. It's a bit overwhelming, and it absolutely is gorgeous. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. He just started Flosstube, and his work is just phenomenal. But yeah, so varying sizes. I like keeping these things nice and cute and kind of card sized is what I was aiming for. So that's a lot of rambling about that project, but really enjoying it as well. Really looking forward. I'm so close to this being finished, and really looking forward to starting on the other cards as well. So that's what that is. Oh Jesus. And hopefully I'm trying to avoid editing just because it does take a lot of time, but that might come out. So yes, that's all the stitching I have. And really, yeah, there's I don't have any haul It's been a very boring, not boring. It's been a very just straightforward 7 weeks of just stitching. I don't have any haul. I have been trying to read more, so I do have a book that I'm reading and I'm going to share. But if you're only here for the cross stitch stuff, that's where it ends. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're only here for cross stitch, feel free to head off and do some other things if you're not interested in the books. But if you are, please stick around and I can give you some talk about that a bit. I'm gonna cough and I'm back. So thank you so much. And if you are sticking around, I have been trying desperately to read more. I finally got Goodreads. I've put in a bunch of my books that I'm looking to read. Friends have been lending me books, so I'm just collecting books from friends' libraries. So I am trying to make an effort of at least reading both on the weekends, if I can, maybe after work or before work. I'm not a morning person. By the way, all those people that cross stitch before work, bless you. Like I'm barely at my desk 5 minutes before I start, just because I'm a night girl, a night hawk, so I'd rather be up late and then, running out the door with minutes to spare. But I have been reading this lovely book called Between Two Fires. I started it in December for when I was on vacation, for reading on vacation. I did go with a bunch of friends, so there actually wasn't a lot of reading. I did a bit on the plane, did a bit on the trains. We went to Japan, so the travel between cities, but didn't really find much time other than that to read. And then I'm terrible at reading when I'm at home, so I'm making an effort now, and I'm almost done. So close. I am a fast reader, so when I actually get started and into a book, it doesn't take me too long. I just need to actually find the time to pick it up and actually do that. Really enjoying this. I should be done by next time we chat. I really like this. It's a, as it says, a medieval horror. It follows these three individuals, and it's like a post-apocalyptic. There's been an outbreak, and it has a bunch of like weird D&D kind of monsters and ghosts and angels and demons, and it's just a lot of fun. I'm a big fantasy novel person. Fantasy and mystery is where I'm at, so this is definitely something I enjoy reading, and it's been a lot of fun to read. So finishing this off and then hoping to start on one of the books my friends have lent me, which is a Jasper Fforde book. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the second book in this series, and I'll put it up if I can find it. I really enjoyed the first book. It's very quirky, where it's a mystery kind of story, but it's also, they go through like weird literature and jumping in and out of books and changing timelines. It was very interesting. You really have to find a time to be able to read it in a chunk, because I felt that if I took too long of a break, I got lost about where I was. But I might be, if it's for you, that's what I recommend, is be able to sit down with it and, finish it off within a good time frame, rather than what I do is where I read it for 2 days and then don't touch it for months because life got busy and I haven't put time aside for that. Don't be me. Be better at reading, if you choose to read books. But yes, I think I'll stop rambling on about nothing, and I will close out this video. That's all I have. And thank you so much if you have stuck around this long. Maybe leave like a little book emoji just to let me know that you've made it to the end. I really enjoy sharing my stitching and kind of, life and stuff. So thank you so much again for being here. Anyone I've mentioned, I'm going to link below, as well as the list of my projects. And that's it. So thanks again, and until next time, have a good one. Bye for now.